Okay, I want to show you guys something here. Hopefully the camera will pick this up, but this is the transmission that came out of the truck. This is not the one from the junkyard. This is the rebuilt one. It's not that I doubt he rebuilt it, but I have a feeling the kid probably did. I mean, I don't know, but it's pretty incredible. Let me try to get the thing to focus. This is the bottom of the pan, and if you look down here, all the black stuff I think is just clutch material from it not shifting out of first gear and burning that clutch. But there's a ton of like rocks, little white rocks in here, and they're all over the bottom of the filter as well. So, you know, I was going to reuse this filter in this junkyard transmission since I wasn't going to stick with it because this one was apparently brand new, and I think this filter is new. He didn't double gasket the filter, which is nice. There's only one on there, but I'm afraid to reuse the filter now just because maybe he's running rocks through it or something, or there's so much clutch material in it that I'm not going to reuse that. But that's just amazing how much material is in this. So that's no good. And we're gonna go with the other transmission, but we do need to pull a couple pieces off, so I can't touch the camera to focus it. But what we need is, you'll see on the underside, I'll take off the pan for that other transmission. I still have this 4th gear lockup, but what I'm missing is right here on later models, there is right here, this is a temperature switch for the 4th gear lockup, and someone in the junkyard had pulled that off before I got to it. So I need this piece. All the wiring is still there, I just need this piece. And I think everything else I've got, but I'll double check it on that junkyard transmission. And we're gonna take all the goodies off of this transmission before we send it back to the yard to get our core charged. So we're gonna pull I'll probably take the entire lockup solenoid, I'll take probably the valve body, I'll probably take maybe the front pump, maybe even the clutches. I will probably take, definitely gonna take the TV cable, I'll take those fittings out of the side, I'll take the governor. I'll pretty much strip everything down before I send it back to the junkyard. There it is. There's my temperature switch. I don't think it matters which way you put on this connector piece, the female connection, and I'm pretty sure it just completes the circuit when it gets to a certain temperature. But I got the temperature switch flipped over, and I also had this neat little thing. Let's see if I can show you the thing sticking up. Whoop, sticking up right there. I'm pretty sure what this does, it wasn't on the one I pulled from the junkyard, but I think it tries to prevent you from squishing your filter with the pan when you put it on. It goes basically right in this bolt here, and it just sticks up. So it kind of gives you some separation on the transmission, just enough room. So when you slide the filter underneath, the pan has that last little tiny bit of metal. But I'm going to remove the rest of this lockup circuit and keep it before I get rid of this transmission. But that's really it. We're going to get another filter from the store right now. That's why I got to stop here, because I don't want to put this same filter on. The gasket's fine. It's maybe a month old, so I'm going to reuse the gasket for this new tranny. But we're going to need a new filter. And then we are going to put that back up in there. Something to pay attention to when you're swapping a filter on a transmission is when you pull it out of the 700R4, at least, there's a little gasket down in here. It's this orange thing. That's where the filter neck goes right into. You need to make sure you get that gasket out. Don't double gasket it. Generally the gasket gets stuck and stays in the transmission. Just get a little pick tool and pry it up before you put the new filter in. Otherwise you'll have double gasket and it won't fit properly. Alright, we have our pan back on. Now when you're tightening down these bolts, go in a star pattern always. Start here, then go there, then there, then there, something like that, until you get them all relatively snug down. And then when you're going to torque, I don't know the exact torque specs, but it's very light. Don't crank on these super hard. What you're gonna do is end up bending the pan. If you crank on it super tight here, you're gonna like put a mushroom or a bubble on the underside like this with the pan, and it's not gonna seal properly, and you're gonna have to hammer it out. So it's a pain in the butt. Don't tighten these down much. All you're looking for is on the back side, you just want that gasket to slightly be bulging out. You can kind of see it start to bulge a little bit. That's when you know you've got it tightened down enough, and that'll do it. What else? Yeah, I think that's it for now. Oh, one other thing that I was gonna say is I actually don't think I'm gonna take this transmission apart and pull the clutch packs out. Even though the kid claims he rebuilt it, most of the clutch material I think was in the bottom of the pan anyways, so I don't want to reuse those packs or anything. So we'll just take all the other stuff off it, the governor, the lockup circuit, that stuff, and then we'll send it to the junkyard for our core. Okay, so we made some progress. Got all the bell housing bolts lined up. Transmission is on. Still got to do the torque converter bolts. Transfer case is on. I just picked it up, shoved it on there. Kind of held it with one hand, then grabbed the bolt and then threaded them in on the back side. Those are all 9/16 or 14 millimeter. Those guys right there, there's 6 of them. I put most of the electrical back in. I haven't done the 4th gear lockup yet. It's still dangling. I have the shifter back in place. The transfer case, the speedometer cable's back in. And then the stuff to let you know you're in 4-wheel drive, the little light on your dash, that's also back in. So right now, all I gotta do is put in the cross member, torque converter bolts, and then drive shaft. And we're gonna give it overnight to sit for this little gasket maker to set before I fill it up with transmission fluid. And then we'll take it for a spin tomorrow and go from there. Okay, transmission's in. We're basically just adding fluid now. We got a little siphon pump. There is the back of the transfer case, fill hole, drain hole. They're giant, so I just used an adjustable wrench. But it came right out, it was loose. The kid didn't really tighten it back up at all, which is fine. He did forget to add these bolts back, or just didn't on purpose, but I had a couple extra in my bolt box. Torque converter back on, drive shaft is back in. We're just going to add fluid now, and then we can take it for a spin. That should be it. All right, finishing up here. Got the little siphon pump for the transmission fluid. Well, this is it's Dex, basically a Dex 2 or 3 equivalent, and we're doing that in the transfer case. And then we're also going to add in quite a few quarts in the transmission, but we'll do that from up top once I put in the dipstick. So right now I'm just going to start pumping everything into the transfer case until it comes out of the fill hole. There's the fill hole. That's the drain hole. Drain hole's already tight. We're just going to pump and add in up there until it starts to dribble out, and then we know we're done. All right, so transmission works. I just took it for a spin. Now we had 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and I'm pretty sure we had 4th. I don't know if we got to overdrive lockup. I did not drive it very long. I don't think the temperature switch engaged because I took a reading of the tranny pan afterwards and it was up to about 115, 120. I don't think that's hot enough for the torque converter to lock up. But I couldn't tell. I think we have 4th gear, but it does at least cycle through more than 1st and just reverse. So we're in a good spot. Now, the only other thing to mention when swapping a tranny is refilling this. Mine took about, I want to say 6 quarts, 6 or 7 quarts, and it was good to go. I believe it's 11 total if they're completely brand new or dry without the torque converter. The only thing to mention is, of course, your tranny dipstick is over there in the back. I'm sure I showed you that before, so location shouldn't be an issue. But you do need to check it when the car is idling in park and hot. Look on your dipstick, it'll usually say check idling in neutral or park when hot. That's when you want to measure. The tranny needs to be warmed up because it will slowly start to rise up on the dipstick as the transmission heats up. So that's the only other thing to mention. Our levels are good, and that's pretty much it for that.